Going on, family? It's been like a week since I posted my last video, and I got a few things I want to talk about. And y'all know how it goes. I always say I'm gonna try not to make the video long, but once the spirit comes over me, then y'all know how it goes. So just bear with me. So today's verse of the day is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. So it's saying that the Most High's grace is sufficient for any man, right? Or Christ's grace is sufficient for any man. For his strength is made perfect in your weakness. Whether you're weak of mind, weak of heart, weak of spirit, weak physically, his strength is made perfect in your weakness. So he would rather glory in your infirmities so that the power of Christ may rest upon you. The power of Christ cannot be shown through a strong-minded, strong-willed person, because Christ comes to us in our lowest hours, at our lowest point, so that his power may be shown. So that his power can be shown, that he can bring us out of anything through his strength, through his grace, right? So that's basically all that 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9 is saying. And that's today's verse of the day. So what I'm about to get into now is about these meteors and these asteroids. And a lot of people have been equating them to the passing or the coming of Nibiru or Planet X. And they've also been equating them to scriptures in the Bible, mainly the prophecies of the end times. So I have a few things that I've linked together that I want to share with you. And the first is a video. I'm going to start with this video, and then I'm going to move from there. So we're going to go to the watch later. Something is coming upon the earth. It's 1 minute and 31 seconds long. So you can't hear the sound, hopefully. And you don't need to hear the sound. Just look at the dates at the top where the arrows are pointing. And the person who actually shared this video shared it from another person that made a video, right? So he's going to pause the video periodically, and he's going to highlight certain areas. So this is supposed to be the orbit of the planets around the sun. And as the dates progress at the top left-hand corner, you'll see the planets moving. And he's going to stop it at certain dates to show you what's coming upon the earth. So if you look at the bottom of the screen where the blue dot and the equal sign is, it says the blue dot or the blue orb equals a magnetic anomaly. So it's basically saying that there's some type of anomaly or planet that can't be identified that's close in orbit with the Earth, which is speculated to be Planet X or Nibiru. On May 11th, they are conjuncted. Is that how you say the word? Conjuncted? Conjoined? Not conjoined, because that means, well, yeah, conjuncted or parallel to one another. That was on May 11th. All right, so around June the 11th, the first week of June or the second week of June, you start to see asteroids come into view, come into the screen. The Earth isn't close to them yet, but you start to see the anomaly go through Earth's orbit once the Earth has passed, going towards the sun. So around July 7th is when the asteroid, the debris field is close to the Earth, or the Earth is close to the asteroid debris field. July 7th, 2020. This is what I want to show you all. July 23rd, 2020, which it July 23rd and 24th have already passed, but there are a few news articles that I want to present to you all about meteors and asteroids and meteor showers that were posted on July 24th. So this is July 23rd, 2020. The Earth is already in the asteroid debris field. And by the 29th, the Earth is completely engulfed within the asteroid debris field, right? Up until late August. Up until August the 17th. And that's the end of the video. So, with that being shown, I'm going to go to these screenshots that I took. This was on July 24th. Well, before July 24th, actually. Asteroid 2020 ND, 160 meters in diameter to fly past Earth on July 24th. So that's the asteroid. And from this news article, what's the word? It kind of verifies the video that I just showed you, right? About the asteroid field and Earth passing through the asteroid debris field in July, late July. So the flyby or the fly past of Earth is on July 24th, which is already passed. Then I want to go up here to a Fox News report which says double meteor shower may produce fireballs next week. And this was updated July 24th, the same day as the asteroid flyby. And I'll actually go to the news report and read a little of it. All right, so it says double meteor shower may produce fireballs next week. And it was updated July 24th, 2020 at 7:14 p.m. As stargazers shift their attention away from Comet Neowise, they will have a lot to look forward to next week when two meteor showers will peak at the same time. The Delta Aquariids and the Alpha Capricornids meteor shower will coincide on the evening of Tuesday, July 28th through Wednesday into the early morning, which is Wednesday now, July 29th, 2020. Viewers can expect the combined shower to produce about 20 to 25 meteors an hour. The Delta Aquariids meteor shower persists through mid-August and typically consists of long glowing trails due to the angle they enter the Earth's atmosphere. The Alpha Capricornids typically peak in late July and are characterized by bright fireballs but occur around 5 per hour or less. Those in larger cities like Atlanta, Boston, and Philadelphia will need to find areas away from light pollution to see the showers, but most can expect to see the show after midnight local time. It's best to use your own eye rather than binoculars or telescopes to view the shower. You should also give yourself about 30 minutes for your eyes to adjust to the darkness. And that's the end of the news report. So it says the evening of Tuesday, July 28th through Wednesday into the early morning. So July 28th just passed yesterday. Today is Wednesday, the 29th. So if we go back to the video, wow, that's crazy. But if we go back to the video, the asteroid was predicted to fly past Earth on July 24th. Right now it's on July 27th, and the asteroid debris field is close to Earth, or the Earth is close to the asteroid debris field. Okay, so this is July 23rd and 25th, which the 24th is when the asteroid was predicted to fly past the Earth. And you can see clearly that on the 25th, the Earth is completely engulfed in the asteroid debris field. So this is the 27th, right? So that's Monday. And this is the 29th, which is today, Wednesday. So the meteor shower is supposed to happen between Tuesday the 28th and Wednesday the 29th. And we can clearly see that the Earth is still in the asteroid debris field. After July 24th, which was the asteroid flyby or flypast or whatever. And then it goes until August 17th, maybe a little later, maybe August 20th. So I just wanted to bring that to people's attention. And I wanted to read a few screenshots or a few excerpts from a book that I've been reading for years called The Barcode Tattoo. So this is the Barcode Rebellion, which is the prequel to the Barcode Prophecy. And then there's a book before that called there's a book before both of these two books called The Barcode Tattoo. So the Barcode Tattoo is the first one, the Barcode Rebellion is the second one, and the Barcode Prophecy is the last book in the series, in the trilogy. So the Barcode trilogy is basically, it's set in the 2020s, right? And it's about a barcode tattoo that they've implemented or passed into law that has all of your information, all your genetic information, your bank accounts, your driver's license information, your insurance information. The barcodes have all of this information on it, right? And like I said, this book is set in the 2020s. So it has all your information on it. And legally, once you turn 17, or if you're above the age of 17, you have to get the barcode tattoo. They live in a cashless society. They no longer use cash money. They still use some credit cards, but credit cards and debit cards are becoming obsolete. They're trying to move to a totally cashless society by using these barcodes. And throughout the trilogy, they find out that the barcodes are actually harming people. They have nanobot technology in the barcodes that they can use to alter your brain chemistry to make you suicidal, depressed, addicted to this drug that's in the book. I forgot the name of the drug, but they can do all of that through the barcode. They can control you through the barcode that you get with the nanobots, basically. They could kill you if they see you as a threat. And the organization that invented the barcode is called Global One. It's a multinational corporation, and it's housed in Atlanta, Georgia, which I kind of believe that Global One is a pseudonym for the CDC, because the CDC is housed in Atlanta, Georgia. So, anyways, the president is a man called Luden Waters, and he is, I want to say, the CEO of Global One or something like that. He's either the CEO, the president, one of them, but he works with Global One. He was working with Global One before he became president, and he's actually the one that wrote the barcode tattoos into law. So it's all about, the books are all about people that rebel against getting the barcode tattoos, right? And they all find out that the president is in on controlling the masses of people, because once you get the barcode tattoo and it has all your information on it, your genetic information and stuff, they can tell if you have certain illnesses that run in your family or in your genetic code, right? So this means you're disqualified for certain jobs or for certain health benefits, insurance benefits, because they see you as a liability. So it further demeans the lower class citizens. I'm not sure that's the word I want to use, but it further makes puts a divide between the lower class citizens and the upper class, right? So there were some exceptions within the lower class because of their genetic makeup, and they didn't have certain diseases that ran in their family or in their genetic code that allowed them to get better jobs and stuff like that, or better health benefits. And then there were some people that were in the upper class that got the barcodes, and because they had certain diseases in their family, like arthritis or uh, dementia or anything like that, they lost all of their benefits of being in the upper class. So there was also experiments being done on humans. They were trying to splice the genes of humans with animals and create a human animal hybrid. They were inserting these eggs with the animal DNA and the human DNA into willing participants, willing test subjects. They were implanting the eggs into these women, and the women were giving birth. And the book is centered around these three girls. Well, not just these three. There are actually sextuplets. So there are 6 of them, and they're all clones of one woman. But they all have sparrow DNA or bird DNA in their blood. So that's what the book is centered around, or that's who the book is centered around. So the point of me bringing all of this up is because this book drops a lot of knowledge, right? So starting here, Meteor 1 safely passes Earth. In a press conference today in the White House Rose Garden, President Loudon Waters expressed the opinion that NASA's panicky evacuation of the International Space Station constitutes an extreme overreaction and a waste of NASA's monetary resources. NASA insists that although astronomers feel confident that the giant meteor will pass by Earth, systems are in place in the unlikely event that there has been an error in calculating the velocity and or trajectory of the approaching celestial boulder. The controversial approach of meeting a menacing meteor with nuclear rockets is once more being debated in Congress and the Senate. Although nuclear missiles could be used to explode the meteor before it reaches Earth or knock it off its deadly path, the effects of the resulting radiation raining down on the Earth could be, in itself, catastrophic. In the meantime, we feel it prudent to evacuate the space station and go to drone backup technology until the meteor is safely on its way, says a NASA representative. Nedra, a private commercial space station owned by Global One, has no plans to evacuate. Nedra competes with ISS, or the International Space Station, offering its scientific findings for sale to individuals or other companies willing to purchase its research. In an anonymous opinion piece appearing in today's New York Times, a contributor widely believed to be former Senator David Young, leader of the Barcode resistance group Decode, calls this situation just the latest in Global One's bids to gain control of outer space and corner the market on space travel. Their careless disregard for human life is once more their trademark and calling card, Mr. Young wrote. After all that has happened, why is this amoral corporation still being permitted to operate? If we let them get their foothold in outer space with their privately held satellites and space stations, there will be no fighting them here on Earth. China and Russia have followed NASA's lead in bringing their people down from space. They have urged Global One to do the same. So you can see Global One is like a big entity in the United States. It's multinational, but it's based or housed in the United States. That part about Global One having satellites and stuff in space, it reminds me of SpaceX, right? SpaceX, I don't know how many years it's been around, but supposedly came out of nowhere, right? Like it just came into public light like in 2017. And it started out with Elon Musk and SpaceX sending satellites into space, supposedly to bring faster 5G to the world or whatever. Under whose orders, though? How can a privately owned company just shoot satellites into space and say they're doing it for the betterment of mankind, or say they're doing it to bring faster service, Wi-Fi service, whatever, to the world? Who asked them to do that? Who ordered them to do that, right? So, I'm actually running out of space on my phone, so I might have to continue this video another time, but I wanted to get into scriptures as I always do. And these scriptures are going to revolve around or center around fire and brimstone. Psalm 11:6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. Revelation 9:17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. And I will plead, Ezekiel 38, and I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood, and I will rain upon him and upon his bands and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Revelation 20:10. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Revelation 9:18. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths. Revelation 14:10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Psalm 105. He gave them hail for rain and flaming fire in their land. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 16. For the ungodly that denied to know thee were scourged by the strength of thine arm. With strange rains, hails, and showers were they persecuted, that they could not avoid, and through fire were they consumed. Exodus 9:23. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and the fire ran along upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. I know it's more scriptures on fire and brimstone. They mostly in the book of Revelation. Where should I start? And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so I'm not gonna read about the horses, but Revelation chapter 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto them, to every one of them. And it was said unto them, that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? This is about the 144,000. I might get into that one day. The white robe multitude, nope. And when he had opened the seventh seal, this is Revelation chapter 8, verse 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of an hour. And I saw the seven angels which stood before God, and to them were given seven trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer. And there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer, and filled it with fire of the altar, and cast it into the earth. And there were voices, and thunderings, and lightnings, and an earthquake. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers, and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them were darkened. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld, and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound. So, if we were to interpret Revelation chapter 8, which August is the 8th month, if we were to interpret that as being August, the first trumpet would sound August the 7th. The second would be August the 8th. The third trumpet would be August the 10th. The fourth would be August the 12th. And then the last three trumpets wouldn't sound until September. So, Revelation chapter 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. So, if the fifth trumpet was to be sounded in September, 5 months from September, October, November, December, January, February, that would mean this would last until February or sometime. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle. And on their heads were, as it were, crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails. And their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name Apollyon, hath his name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. So the next woe wouldn't be until like February or March. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth, and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. So this is basically talking about more meteors or asteroids falling to the earth, or stars even. So this is, I don't think it would be asteroids. Asteroids, like one asteroid could hit the earth and kill all of humanity, supposedly. So this is more than likely meteors and comets, right? Falling upon the earth. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils, and idols of gold, and silver, and brass, and stone, and of wood, which neither can see, nor hear, nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven, and sware by him that liveth for ever and ever, who created heaven, and the things that therein are, and the earth, and the things that therein are, and the sea, and the things which are therein, that there should be time no longer. So the time of the Gentiles has come to an end. There should be time no longer, or there would be no more delay. So the time of the Gentiles has come to an end. But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of God should be finished, as he hath declared to his servants, the prophets. And starting at verse 8, the precept is Ezekiel 2 and 8 and 3 and 3. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go, and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel, and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it, and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the book out of the angel's hand, and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So I don't believe that this is John in Revelation chapter 10. I believe it is Ezekiel, because if you go look at the precept for verse 8, in the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel also ate a little book that he was given by one of the angels, and it was sweet in his mouth like honey, but it never said that it was bitter in his stomach. So I'm going to go to Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 8. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth, and eat that I give thee. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and, lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel or Yisrael. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And he said unto me, Son of man, go, get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel, not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears, and go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, Thus saith the Lord God, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear. Then the Spirit took me up, and I heard behind me a voice of a great rushing, saying, Blessed be the glory of the Lord from his place. I heard also the noise of the wings of the living creatures that touched one another, and the noise of the wheels over against them, and a noise of a great rushing. So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness, in the heat of my spirit. But the hand of the Lord was strong upon me. Then I came to them of the captivity of Tel Abib, that dwelt by the river of Chebar. And I sat where they sat, and remained there astonished among them 7 days. So, in what is it, Revelation chapter 10? Yeah, so in Revelation chapter 10, verse 8. Verse 11, actually. Revelation chapter 10, verse 11. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. For him to be prophesying again to many nations, peoples, and all that other stuff, kings and tongues, it would have to be Ezekiel, because Ezekiel is the only other person or only other prophet in the Bible that ate a little book or ate a scroll. And like I just showed you in the book of Ezekiel, the book or the scroll was sweet in his mouth like honey. But it wasn't until Ezekiel chapter 3 where we see that his stomach was bitter, because he said he went in bitterness in the fire of his soul or the fire of his spirit. So that means in his mouth, the book was sweet, but once he finally swallowed the book or ate the book, it was in his stomach bitter. So, and I look, verse 10, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. So could his belly have become bitter because he knew that he was going to have to come back and prophesy to the nations again, or to Yisrael again? And he was already bitter about going to prophesy to Yisrael the first time. And then, not only this, after Revelation chapter 10, in chapter 11, you get the two witnesses. So there have been many people speculating that one of the witnesses might be Ezekiel. I never, researched it, but now making this video, I believe that one of the two witnesses is Ezekiel. And I believe that if we read more of Revelation or other scriptures, we could find out or determine who the other witness is as well. So I'm going to read Revelation chapter 11 all the way to verse 14. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod, and the angel stood, saying, Rise, and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread under foot for 42 months. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two olive trees, and the two candlesticks standing before the God of the earth. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them, and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from God entered into them. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. And the remnant were affrighted, and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past, and, behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So real quick, I just wanted to say that what I meant to say is a lot of people speculate or believe that one of the two witnesses will be Elijah or Elisha. But through reading Revelation chapter 10 and then going back to read the precept of Revelation chapter 10 verse 8, which is Ezekiel 2 and 8 and through Ezekiel 3:3, you can see that clearly Ezekiel is one of the witnesses. So Elijah might be the second witness. But I'm gonna end the video right there. I talked about a lot, but what I really wanted to touch on was just the asteroids or the meteor showers and the comets that have been getting a lot of news coverage lately. They've been getting more news coverage than I've ever seen. in my 26 years of living. So we all know that we're living in the end times, but as Christians like to say, nobody knows the day or the hour or whatever, but the Most High gave us the sun and the moon and the stars for signs and the seasons. We have to be able to interpret the signs, and we have to be able to know what season we are in. Like it said, in Revelation, there are 4 angels that were binded, but once they are loose because they have been appointed for that time, that season, that month, and that year. Right? So we have to be able to discern the truth from the lies in the Bible, in the Torah, in the New Testament, in the Quran, and in these other spiritual books. And we have to be able to ask the Most High for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the truth in these books to be able to interpret the time and the hour, or the day and the hour, right? We have to be able to discern, we have to be able to discern the signs that are being given us, or interpret the signs that are being given us, so that we can accurately not depict, but accurately what's the word? Not decipher. I guess decipher works. So that we can accurately decipher or depict the that day and that hour, or the signs and the seasons that we are in, so we can know that we are close, if not there already. So if we can't accurately pinpoint that day or hour, we can at least be able to discern when we are close to that day and hour, right? Through the signs in the sky, the sun, the moon, and the stars, which the Most High gave us for signs and for seasons. So with that being said, just pay attention, keep your eyes open, and look up. Everything that's going on in this world that we live in is centered around us not looking up. They don't want us to look up because they know we'll notice the inconsistencies. They know that we'll be able to discern that they are telling us lies about what's going on above our heads, because the Most High gave us the breath of life, the Holy Spirit, the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So they know once we look up and actually pay attention to what's going on above our heads, we'll be able to discern that we are in the end times, that something is coming upon the earth. When, we don't know. We might not be able to discern when it's going to come upon the earth, but we know that it's close. So stay in prayer, keep the faith in the Most High, worship the Most High alone, first and foremost. And though I believe in Christ, I don't believe that you have to worship Christ to get to the Father. I believe that Christ did come to save the people of the Most High, the chosen people of the Most High. He came to awaken the people of the Most High, the chosen people, the remnant of Yisrael. And I believe that he was a great teacher in showing us the way, the light, and the truth. But I don't believe that he is the only begotten Son of the Most High, and I don't believe that you have to go through him to get to the Most High. He gave us the tools that we needed and showed us the way to get to the Most High. But we don't have to go through him to get to the Most High. You just have to pay attention and discern his teachings, because he spoke in a lot of parables. So if you're able to discern those parables, then you're able to see the path that you need to take to get to the Most High. We all have a purpose in life. And it's hard to know what our purpose is without the Most High, without the help of the Most High. And once you have a relationship with the Most High gives you the Holy Spirit. He bestows upon you the Holy Spirit, the spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Also, the spirit of Christ, which is consciousness, pure consciousness. So, with that being said, I hope you all stuck around for the end of the video. I hope you all liked the video. If you didn't dislike the video, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, as always, thank you guys for watching.